Today we are going to start new chapter, urine formation by the kidneys, and the first topic of this chapter is multiple functions of the kidneys in homeostasis, or simply the multiple functions that the kidneys perform to maintain homeostasis or similar condition or same environment for the body tissues. Now, as we are discussing physiology, and physiology is all about homeostasis or keeping the condition same so that the cells, the tissues can perform optimal functions. Now, the kidneys have multiple functions, not only one function, but the kidneys have multiple functions to maintain homeostasis. We are just simply going to discuss the broadly the different types of functions without going into detail. And as we go ahead in this chapter, we will discuss each and every topic in detail. So, to start with, the first and most important function of the kidney is excretion of metabolic waste products, foreign chemicals, drugs, and hormone metabolites. There are a lot of waste materials in the human body, like waste products of amino acids, the urea, waste products of creatine, like creatinine, waste products of nucleic acid, which is the uric acid, and other products of hormone metabolites, and a lot of drugs and chemicals. So the removal of these substances, these waste products from the body, is the first and most important function of the kidney. So excretion is one of the many functions of the kidney. We will discuss each and everything in detail as we go ahead. The second function of the kidney is the regulation of water and electrolyte balances. Now it is also very important. As we know that, for example, this is the kidney. The blood enters the kidney, and through millions of nephrons, it filters this blood, it removes the waste material, and returns the normal blood to the veins. So it seems very easy, but there are a lot of complicated and delicate functions which are performed by the kidney, and one of those functions is the regulation of water and electrolyte balances. Now, depending upon the climate and depending upon the exertion and different conditions, the intake of water and electrolytes like salt is not always the same, but the kidneys, they try to keep the concentrations of different electrolytes in the volume of water in the body at same, or to maintain the homeostasis or similar conditions so that the tissues can perform optimally. Now, if a person drinks a lot of water and there is excess of water, the kidneys will get rid of the excess water as a waste material. Similarly, if there are excess electrolyte intake, for example, salt intake, sometimes even if the salt intake is increased so much that a person starts taking around 10 times more salt than the normal conditions, even then the kidneys will adapt so much that it will excrete the excess salt and water as a waste, and it will try to maintain the homeostasis. So it is a very important function of the kidney to maintain and regulate the water and electrolyte balance. Now, another important function which we have discussed very much detail in the cardiovascular system is the regulation of arterial pressure. The kidneys secrete different types of chemicals like renin, and due to which the kidney is able to control the arterial pressure, especially in the long term. Although the kidney can maintain the arterial pressure in the short term as well, but the kidneys are very much important in controlling the long term arterial pressure, as the water and salt and other metabolites also have a big role in controlling the arterial pressure, and kidneys also regulate the amount of water and electrolytes. So its regulation of arterial pressure is very much obvious by increasing and decreasing the amount of water, salts, electrolytes, and different hormones which basically act on the blood vessels like vasoactive agents. It is very easy for the kidney, and it is at the same time very much important and crucial for the kidney to maintain the arterial pressure. Now, another important function of the kidney is maintenance of acid-base balance. Now, there are a lot of acids which, when increase in the human body, the kidneys basically get rid of those extra acids as a waste material, and it removes it from the body in the form of urine, and try to maintain a normal pH so that all the cells, all the tissues of the human body can perform their optimal functions in optimal pH. Now, another important function of the kidneys is the regulation of erythrocyte production or red blood cells production. Now, the kidneys basically secrete a hormone known as erythropoietin. And erythropoietin is basically responsible for increasing the erythrocyte or RBC's production. So, in a way, the kidneys are important or have a role in the regulation of red blood cells or erythrocyte production as well. People with renal failure or CRF, chronic renal failure, on dialysis, they normally have anemia if they are not given the erythropoietin, because their kidneys are non-functional, or so they cannot maintain or they cannot regulate their red blood cells production. Now, another important function of the kidneys is the regulation of 1,25 dihydroxy vitamin D3 production. It is basically the final form of vitamin D3 which gets activated inside the kidney, and it is basically the hydroxylation of the kidney, the vitamin D, which takes place finally in the kidneys, and its active form is formed. Now, the vitamin D is basically responsible for maintaining calcium balance, and calcium is important for bones. So, kidneys have a very, very important role in regulation of 1,25 dihydroxy vitamin D3. In all the patients of kidney failure, all the patients of chronic renal failure, they are also given vitamin D, because when the kidneys are non-functioning, their regulation of vitamin D3 is also disturbed, and they need supplements. And finally, kidneys also have some role in the glucose synthesis. So these are the different functions of the kidney, through which the kidney is basically trying to maintain homeostasis, or a steady state, or a normal state in which all the optimal conditions are maintained, and all the cells of different organs can perform optimally. To summarize this, the kidneys have a role in the excretion of metabolic waste. Kidneys have a role in regulation of water and electrolytes. Kidneys basically have an important role in the regulation of arterial pressure or blood pressure. Kidneys have a role in the regulation of acid-base balance, and kidneys have a role in erythrocyte production, RBCs production, regulation of RBCs production, and kidneys regulate vitamin D, and they are also important in glucose synthesis. So that's a simple lecture about the multiple functions of the kidney, and thanks a lot for watching the video.